Staying organized with Google Keep, take 543. Good morning, 413. Today we're going to discuss Google Keep and how it can keep you organized at work, school, and at home. It is a free Google service, so you can get that on the App Store on any of your devices or just use any internet browser. Think of this as like a virtual version of all those sticky notes that are spread all over your desk. And then when you go back and you are looking for a certain one, you can never find the exact one you need. If all of your sticky notes are accessible from any device you have, you will never be without them. Unless there's an apocalypse of some kind, but I doubt the sticky notes will save you, but I could be wrong. We are going to start here in the Chrome browser. This is what yours will look like if you've never used it before. Yours might be white. I have mine set on dark mode. Right here in the center is where you will type to start a clean note. When you start a new note, there are a few things you can set at the beginning. Don't worry, you can change all of these settings later. Remind Me has the ability to set an alarm when and where you want to. Collaborator lets you share it with others so you can both see the note and edit the note. Background options let you pick between a colored or themed background. And Add Image lets you set an image to be the header. More on that later. We'll create some in Canva. Archive makes it disappear from your notes, but they are not deleted and they can be easily retrieved. Over on our left-hand side, you have your notes, your reminders. So anything you have an alarm set for on any of your notes will show up there in a list. You can edit any labels you have created there. I do not use labels in Keep. Then you have your archive and your trash. Archive is where you put the notes that you want to keep but don't need to see all the time. I'm going to go into the archive because that is actually where all of my current notes are, because I wanted to hide them so you saw what it looked like from the start. So the first thing I'm going to do is get all of those back into my current notes. And you can see that we did that right there. You can see where I have checked off some of the things on some of the notes, and they will show up there until you go in to delete checked items. So if you want to keep it as a list, so you know all the stuff you completed, you don't have to do that, but it distracts me from my style of organization, so I delete this checked items because it drives me crazy. I'm going to go into my to-do list here, and I'm going to add a couple of items to my list so you can see how that is done. Now I'm going to create a new note, an editing checklist that I can share with my students. What I'm going to do is create a master version of this editing checklist, and then I'm going to duplicate it a few times, and then I can share with each of my students so my students in the class have their own editing checklist. We're going to fast forward for a few seconds because you do not need to see me filling out my entire list. Let's not waste our time today. So I'm going to name this one Master, and then I'm going to make a copy of it. Once I have made my copy of that, I'm going to jump over to Canva and show you guys how you can make headers for your new lists. I will share this template for my Canva headers here in the comments and on my website, so you could go and make a copy of it and then change them and make them whatever you want to. Once you have that header template in there and you edit them however you would like to, then you'll need to go in and download them as PNGs, and that will make it to where we can upload them. What I am doing right here is making it to where you can make a copy of them so you have access to the templates. Now we are going to go back into Google Keep and create a template for a weekly to-do list that we can duplicate and reuse as many times as we need. The first thing I'm going to do is put that header in that I just made in the note. Then I'm going to add my tasks for the week. Now I need to move around my notes how I like them and pin the ones that I need to keep at the top. Let's take a look now at how things look on the iPad. Okay, we are in Google Keep here on my iPad, and I have my iPad in landscape mode, which means I just have it sitting on its side next to my computer. So if you'll see, if I flip it, looks about the same, just slightly more compressed. So it looks a little different in here. You still have the same abilities with your menu. And then how you add a note is pushing the plus button in the bottom right hand corner. And then you have the same options and stuff. They're just in a slightly different spots here than they are on the computer or in a web browser. You can also do some handwritten notes, which you can do on the computer, but it's a little interesting. But so you can take some handwritten notes there. Oh, I did not mean to archive you. You can use voice to text to create audio, or you can create audio notes. This is a neat feature if you're trying to get some ideas down really fast, and then you can go back and edit what you wrote. I do this when I'm making tutorial videos, so I kind of have a little script to go with. We do not need that pinned. And you can do the same thing. You can take a photo. Start a new list. But that's how it looks on the iPad.